I'm here now trying to tell you a little bit about why we are here in Finland and how and why I'm working with Jucelino Nóbrega da Luz. The first time I heard about him was when I was in Brazil 1.5 years ago. A man that I know there told me about him and wanted me to look in his webpage. Yeah, and I did. And then he showed me a letter about the tragedy that we had in Norway, this Utoya tragedy, that Jucelino should have sent to the government. It was extremely detailed, and I was thinking this cannot be possible. But I couldn't stop thinking of this when I come back home. And I wrote a mail to Jucelino, told him a little bit about me, and asked if we could meet on Skype one day. And imagine I was sitting in Norway and he in Brazil, but just some minutes later I got a mail back, we can meet on Skype in 5 minutes. And then we had a long conversation. He told me about his work, and I asked if it was possible for me to come and visit him next time I come to Brazil and bring the camera and look through his letters. And he said, yes, everything is open, you can come with who you will and when you will and stay as long as you will and go see all the papers, everything is open. Some months later I went back to Brazil again. And I came to his house, his family's house, stayed there and was starting to go through. He has been written 99,000 letters, so it was loads of papers there. And I was pretty much shocked about what I saw about all these letters written to governments, to people all over the world for so many years. And as he told me, when he sent letters to authorities and to presidents and to kingdoms and to countries all over the world, he's having these letters recommended, he sent it recommended. But also, he takes it to the notaris publicus office, and he goes there and have them to stamp and sign and put a mark on and with a number that registrates that particular letter and put it into a file system. So we was down to these offices and asked, I was bringing the original letters with me and asking if this was correct. And there was no doubt, everything was just as it should be. And then I realized this was really something we had to pay attention for. So when I went back home, I contacted the authorities in Norway. First of all, about the letter written in 2007 about Utoya. I was talking to the embassy in Brazil, the Norwegian embassy in Brazil, and they denied that they had got any letters from him before it happened at Utoya in 2011. Even if we had this receipt that they have signed out and stamped at the embassy, they denied they had got no letters. If they had got anything, it must be just an envelope because they didn't have any letters there. When Jucelino came to Norway in April, he brought with him more letters about this case, original letters. And the first letter he was written about this case was in 1998. And he has done a tremendous job going through lots of documents, and he also found an answer from the Norwegian embassy of this letter. So then I contacted the embassy and the foreign department again. And they still said, we have never got any letter from him. And then I said, okay, I'm going to scan you some letter and take a look at this. And I did, I sent it on mail, and it was quiet for some days. Then I received an email from the office there. And they said, yes, we can find the answer we have been written, but we don't find his letter. And we have been talking to the man who signed for the letter, that was the ambassador at that time. He's now in Oslo working there. And he said that this is very unusual that you find just the answer and not the letter. And still in public, the embassy and the foreign department says that they have got no letter from him. Yeah, but we are working on this. We have the original letter. And before I show you these letters, I just say we have been working a lot on confirmations of letters that he have been written. He also have letters to a specialist about an air accident happening that's with TAM Air in Brazil. And they've done proper investigation of his paper and his letters and confirmed that his letters is original and there has been no changes and no fake, it's real. So we have many evidence, like through all the papers we have gone through now and to all the investigation we have found nothing that says that anything is wrong in his papers. So we are also working on a documentary about him now that's going to be produced worldwide. And of course, all the documents we show in this, we're going to show in this film will be confirmed by all the authorities, and we're also going to send more letters to specialists to confirm that it was written at that time when it says on the letter. I also want to mention very short, he's been written many books, and for example, the book he was written in 2005, he registered it in the National Library in that year, and get the number like we can do in all countries. And in that book, he, for example, writes about the Fukushima accident in Japan. He's also writing about the Air France accident in 2009. And all of us can go to that library in Rio de Janeiro and see the book and see that it was signed in 2005. So it's so many evidence, so many things. So I could have been standing here for days now talking to you about all the things I've been through, but this is just something I want to share with you before we start this. Okay, here you can see the date. He wrote it to the Norwegian embassy in Brasilia. You see the address there. And the date is the 14th of July, 1998. First, in number 1 there, he's writing about the economy, first in the United States. And then he's telling about the crisis coming to Europe, 2008, 2009, and so further on. And at the end of number 1, he says that also Norway will be a part of this from August 2013, and it will last until 2016. Now from August, they've been written lots in the Norwegian newspaper about now the crisis is coming to us as well. I'm going to tell you, he wants me to say, of course. Also in this other letter, you can see this print in the middle of the page. It was on the other page as well. That's done by in the Notarius Publicus office. It says that it's authentic pages, and then the number, and this is from the 3rd of November 1999. Okay, it started on the other page about there's going to be a bomb, it says, in the center of Oslo, the 22nd of July 2011, and a man dressed like police will also drive out to a camping, an island for young people, and it's called Utoya Island. And the name of the person is Anders Behring Breivik. Okay, he's always in this letter talking about number 3 is about lots of rocks going to fall down in Norway. Yeah, it's going to be lots of problems with rocks falling down. We had lots of this spring. It was so much rain and so much things happening in Norway. And he said it's going to be even worse in 2014 and 2015. Number 4 is about in 26th of March 2008. It's about a building with apartments, a six-floor building with apartments in a city called Ålesund. And he says that it will fall down. And it did. And he says 16 persons will be injured, and it was 16 persons living in that. Number 5 is about Boston Marathon, you remember? April 2013. It happened. Yeah, this blue one.
Okay. É muito importante explicar isso para que não haja sombra de dúvida. O primeiro carimbo do cartório que vocês veem lá em 1999, essa é uma prova incontestável para que o documento seja preservado no seu conteúdo desde a sua escrita. No segundo, vocês podem observar que é posterior, que esse documento foi microfilmado. É porque não podemos deixar as pessoas, tem pessoas, infelizmente, na internet, que alteram o documento e atribuem a minha pessoa. Eu já fui vítima por várias vezes. Então, lá no Brasil existe um sistema que é controlado pela Procuradoria de Justiça e Corregedoria de Justiça. E se a pessoa falsificar, aquilo lá prova, porque está microfilmado, que o documento foi alterado. Essa é uma maneira que eu achei de me proteger, porque, infelizmente, quando você fala a verdade, você é muito perseguido.